A wealthy real estate magnate stepped into my courtroom, dressed in an outfit worth thousands, and within a single minute, she delivered a remark so offensive, so utterly devoid of respect, that even my most experienced officers were left stunned into silence. What followed was more than a judgment. It became a stark reminder that no amount of money can place someone beyond accountability, and that certain lines, once crossed, demand firm justice. Somewhere along the way, people began to confuse wealth with worth, forgetting that respect is earned through character, not currency. What unfolded with Victoria Ashford made one thing clear. Contempt of court is not just a phrase. It is a boundary no one should dare cross, regardless of their fortune. Tuesday morning, 9:30 a.m., New York City Civil Court. Just before proceedings began, the bailiff leaned in, his voice low but urgent. "Your Honor, the defendant has already been difficult, dismissive, condescending. She even asked to reschedule because of a conference call." I gave a slight nod. After decades on the bench, I could recognize that attitude long before the person even entered the room. The case file read, Victoria Ashford, 52, cited for running a red light under aggravated circumstances. Notes from the officer indicated a pedestrian had nearly been struck. When stopped, she refused to provide her license, claiming her attorney handled such matters. She entered as though stepping onto a stage, composed and self-assured, dressed impeccably in designer clothing that signaled success. Diamonds reflected the harsh courtroom lighting, and a luxury handbag rested casually on her arm. But it wasn't the wealth that commanded attention. It was her demeanor. She barely acknowledged anyone, her focus fixed on her phone, as though the room itself were insignificant. "Miss Ashford, good morning. Please approach the bench." She moved forward slowly, still typing, offering no acknowledgement. "Miss Ashford," I repeated, my tone firmer. "I need your full attention. Please put your phone away." She finally looked up, her expression suggesting inconvenience rather than respect. "It's Miss Ashford, not Mrs. I built my own name." With deliberate slowness, she tucked her phone away, as if complying on her own terms. I had seen countless individuals in this courtroom, but arrogance of this magnitude never sat well with me. "You're here regarding a traffic violation, running a red light. How do you plead?" She shifted her stance, impatience evident. "I'm in the middle of a multi-million-dollar deal. Can we speed this up? I have more important matters waiting." A ripple passed through the gallery. Her implication was unmistakable. "These proceedings are important," I replied evenly. "They concern public safety and the law," she scoffed. "A red light. Do you know how many jobs I create? How much revenue I bring into this city? This is beneath me." The room grew tense. I reviewed the file as she glanced at her watch, reinforcing her disregard. "The law applies equally to everyone," I said. "In reality," she replied coolly, "everything has a price. I've paid tickets before. Just tell me the fine." She had reduced justice to a transaction. We reviewed the incident. She dismissed details, claiming she had more important concerns than remembering traffic signals. When confronted about refusing to provide her license, she justified it as her right, adding a pointed remark about contributing to society. The prosecutor stepped forward with additional records. 6 prior violations within 3 years. Speeding, red lights, reckless driving. A pattern of what? She countered. Living my life? I paid every ticket. That's how it works. No, I replied. Each violation is a warning you've chosen to ignore. She laughed dismissively. Then came the crucial detail. The incident occurred in a school zone during dismissal. A pedestrian had narrowly avoided being hit. Her response was chilling. She dismissed the school zone as inconvenient and suggested the pedestrian was at fault. The courtroom reacted audibly. Her lack of concern was unmistakable. When pressed on the seriousness, she brushed it aside. Nothing happened. People should pay more attention. Then, as if that weren't enough, she turned her attention to me. With all due respect, I don't need a lecture from someone who's never built anything. I create wealth. You sit there collecting a paycheck. The air in the courtroom froze. I felt the shift instantly. Any patience I had extended vanished. My voice, when I spoke, was controlled but firm. Did you just suggest that my role here is meaningless? She didn't retreat. We operate in different worlds. In mine, productivity matters. I stood, and the room fell silent. You have shown profound disrespect for this court. Before I could continue, a voice from the gallery spoke up. An elderly man stood, his tone steady but filled with conviction. He spoke of fairness, of dignity, of the value of a system that protects ordinary people. He defended the integrity of this courtroom in a way that resonated deeply. Applause followed. Unprompted and sincere, I offered her one opportunity to apologize. She refused. Instead, she doubled down, comparing salaries, asserting superiority, drawing a stark line between herself and everyone else present. That was the moment everything changed. I made it clear. Her case would now be examined in full. The footage was displayed. Her vehicle sped through a red light in a school zone. Children were visible. A crossing guard acted quickly, preventing what could have been a tragedy. Testimony from the crossing guard confirmed the danger. How close it had been, how quickly things could have turned catastrophic. Even then, Miss Ashford minimized it. Further records revealed troubling patterns, not just in her driving, but in her business practices. Lawsuits, violations, unsafe conditions. A pattern of disregard for others extended far beyond the road. When confronted, she deflected responsibility. That, more than anything, solidified my decision. The base fine is $500, I began. Given the circumstances, it is increased to $2,500. Her expression shifted. Your license is suspended for 6 months. You will complete 80 hours of community service at a children's hospital and 40 hours of in-person defensive driving instruction. Her composure unraveled. For contempt of court, an additional $1,000. The total came to $3,950. She protested, but the ruling stood firm. Justice, I told her, is accountability. You entered believing you were above the law. You leave understanding you are not. The gavel struck. She exited without another word. Her confidence replaced by something far less certain. As the doors closed behind her, the courtroom responded, not with chaos, but with recognition. Recognition that fairness had prevailed, because in that room for that moment, wealth meant nothing. Only truth, responsibility, and justice remained.